Hello all, welcome to session 42 of the PySpark series. So in session 41, basically we have seen how to read the lists when we are creating a data frame using Python list, how to read the uh, date in Python list as a string and then convert it to a date data type. Okay. Now that was the first option. We read the date as string, okay, and convert that to date. Now, uh, while creating a data frame from the file stored at some storage location, okay, how to handle these types of I would say problems. Okay, if I like the file, if I want to show you the data file, okay, so what I have is I have name and date of birth. Only two records I have stored in the file. My date of birth is in the format dd-MM-yyyy. Okay, I'll just copy paste it here. Okay. And this file I have stored at some storage location. Okay. Now we all know Spark by default understands YYMMDD file date format. Okay. Now how Spark will behave, okay, with this type of data when we are reading from some storage location. Okay, let's try to understand that. Let's move to practicals. Now here the schema we have already created. Okay, sample schema 1 we have already created, and sample schema where we had, I'll just show you, in previous session we have created two schema, where in sample schema 1 we were reading the data string. Okay, and in sample schema we were reading the date as date type. Okay, here first I'll make a use of sample schema. Okay, so what I have to do, first I'll copy this path where my file is stored. Yes. Okay, I'll just copy the path and run it here. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, done. Now what I have to do, I have to create a data frame. Okay, using the data stored at this stored location, storage location. So now what I'll do, I'll just name it as sample df. To create a data frame from the file stored at storage location, what I have to do, spark.read. Okay, dot format. The format of the file is CSV. Okay, um, then schema. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just read it using sample schema. Remember when we were working with Python list, okay, it gave us the error. Okay, when we tried to read it as date type, it gave us the error. Okay, schema, sample schema. Now option, my first row is header, so I have to give header as true, right? And load, what is data file path, date file path. Okay, let me give this as date file path. Let me read this data frame sample df here. Now it has not thrown any error. It has read the data frame. Does that mean it has read this date correctly? Okay, let's understand. Let's check. Okay, let me display this data frame sample df dot display. Okay, let's see. Okay, see, in the dates it has given it as null, right? It has parsed the date, but the date was not in the format YYMMDD. It has given it as what? Null. Okay, now the first option is there. We can read this as string and convert to a date using f.toDate. Now second option is there. While reading the data frame itself, we can make it to read this dd-MM-yyyy date format. How to do that, I'll show you. Okay, we'll create the sample df2, right? Sample df2 equals to, okay, what I have to do, spark dot read. Okay, dot format. What is the format? CSV. Okay, option of my header is true, right? I have to give my header as true. Schema, sample schema, right? Same as the first data frame that we have created. Sample schema. Now here one more option comes into consideration. Okay, what we have to do is we have to give Spark extra information while reading the data frame itself. What extra information? We have to explain Spark what is the date format of the data. Okay, in this data, my date format is what? dd-MM-yyyy. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just give Spark this information so that it will be able to parse this date. Okay, dd-MM-yyyy dot load. Okay, date file path, right? Let me run this sample df2. Okay, and let's see. Let me display sample df2, sample df2 dot display, right? Let's see now how it will behave. See, now it has read the date as YYMMDD. So, though original date was in format dd-MM-yyyy, okay, we gave Spark extra information. What we did is we have specified here that in my date is in the format dd-MM-yyyy. Okay, so consider that. Okay, and while giving the output, as you all know, Spark will by default understand YYMMDD format. So it has given the output in YYMMDD format, right? So while dealing with dates in PySpark, these are the two ways. Either first way is either you read it as string and then convert to date. Okay, that we can do while creating a data frame using Python list and creating a data frame from some storage location. Okay, but the second option, read it as date. Okay, give Spark the extra details. What is the date format? Okay, what is the date format of your data? Okay, and that date format, then Spark will parse it to uh, its own understandable date format, which is YYMMDD, right? Fine. So these are the two options we have understood while working with the dates. The next session also I'll spend on the dates. This some extra information I wanted to give on the dates. Okay. But these are two major ways which will be very useful while you are working in your projects. Okay. Fine. I think that's everything for this session 42. If you feel this is useful, do like, share, subscribe. If you feel this is useful to the community, do share to those who wants to learn PySpark from basic till advanced. Okay. That's everything for this session. Thank you so much for your